I'm going to begin by asking you both how you first met, and was it always the intention one day to work together?
It was the play, wasn't it?
It was the play, yeah. We did the play. So we both took on this job many years ago, which was it started as something really small. It was like this script basically came through, and I knew from the beginning there was no money in it, and it was a small fringe play, and but I was just. Yeah, but then it went to Trafalgar Studios. So basically this play had this amazing journey which ended up in the West End. And so we kind of bonded over that period, didn't we?
Yeah.
And that's how we first met.
And I had a very small part in it. Like I was being taken hostage.
That's right, yeah.
And then you had a bigger part. Yeah, then we met each other there, and then you said you had an idea and you wanted to work on some things. And we bounced a few ideas off each other. And then you told me about Simon.
Yeah.
Who was the writer, who's somebody you've worked with before.
And I mean, I remember when I first met this guy, he was just like, it was just the funniest dude I'd ever met. Like he had quite a very dramatic character in the play, and but backstage he was the funniest person I'd ever met. Like literally, like just really. This is going to be a complete love fest today.
Yeah, no, it's nice. It's nice.
And like he cracked me up so much, and I was like, one day we've got to do something together, and we were bouncing things around. And then years later, I went back to him and I said, I think we've got it. I think this could be the idea. And he responded really positively, and here we are, many years later.
Yeah.
So from a small role being taken hostage to now a lead role taking people hostage.
Right. Yeah. That's what that is. Yeah. I didn't realise that as being a full circle, but that's what's happened. Yeah.
Am I right thinking you were involved in the writing process for this too? And I'm just wondering, like brainstorming ideas with Simon, and did you have a deal in mind then for this character?
So yeah, absolutely. I remember first talking to Simon about it and saying, I think I'd introduced you to Simon prior to, maybe I hadn't, but I remember saying to Simon, I want to work with Adeel, and we've spoken about working together on something, and let's start brainstorming. So we went back and forwards for ages, for months, trying to find the right idea. And nothing was quite sticking. And then Simon came to me one day and he went, I think I might have it. This is the kind of concept. And I immediately kind of responded well to it, because it was just the simplicity of it. And the great thing was Simon then was able to meet Adeel and write the characters for us, which was great. So, which is always nice, right? And but yeah, it was just, for me, it was just like the simplicity of it. We weren't trying to be too extravagant. We weren't trying to be too big. And I knew there was a realistic chance that we could get this film made because of how it was set.
And on the writing as well, it was really nice to be on set with a bunch of actors, with Simon being there, you being there, and also this idea that if we thought we had a funny line that we wanted to say, that anybody could contribute in any way. So. I think maybe that's a part of the writing question as well. Obviously it's Simon's thing, your thing as well, but also we were able to just have a little bit of a play around with some lines and see if we could make things funnier. And everybody was really you guys were really responsive to it, and then if it wasn't, then Simon made it a bit funnier or whatever. So yeah, it was like a big old
collaboration. The whole thing was a massive collaboration, and we'd get the script done first, get the dialogue done there, and then we had a chance to play around with it. And this guy is like Mr. Ad-lib, it's brilliant. It's very, very funny.
Yeah, usually it's just like sitting in silence, in awkwardness, and then waiting for something to come out my mouth, which sometimes works and sometimes doesn't. And then if it doesn't, then Simon would make it work. So yeah, it was good.
And we've got great moments on outtakes and gag reels and stuff of where this guy actually just does nothing and we're all like laughing in the background.
Was that the case for the scene in the fridge? Because that's probably that's the big dramatic crux of this movie. Did that take a few?
It's high drama in that fridge. Yeah. There's some high drama happening. Yeah, it was like that point where we just go, come on, let's sort this out.
Everything was, by that point, right, we were coming towards the end of the shoot. We'd been without sunlight for 3 weeks, no sleep.
Because we start at 6, we start in the evening, and then work through till 6 o'clock in the morning, because that's the only time that the shop was open. So we're sort of sleep deprived. I weren't having much nourishment, we weren't eating our greens, and everything was just a little bit heightened. So things which were just mildly funny started to become maniacally funny. So there's a bit of an outtake where it's like we're trying to vocalise, we're going, which is because we're trying to stop ourselves from laughing, we're making this noise, like that. So you see that on the outtake.
Yeah. I mean, that scene took, so we were in a location that we had to be out 20 minutes ago. We've got the manager like on the warpath. We cannot nail this scene. It's a serious moment, and we just can't do it. We're in hysterical laughter. I mean, it's got to that point, and I'm trying to set the kind of tone here because I'm the producer of the film, and I just can't control myself.
It was worrying.
It was really worrying, and I knew that if we didn't get this, we were in lots of trouble. But yeah, I couldn't contain myself. And then my line producer, Ben, literally stormed into that freezer.
Very sweet, quiet guy, sort of gentle giant, told us off.
Told us off.
Told
us off, and that kind of quickly kicked us into gear, didn't it? And we had one chance to do it, and we got it, and the pressure was on, though.
Yeah. You got the role of Smee in Pan. Were you allowed to be like that and just sort of, you know, be quite funny and jokey on a set like that? Was it a bit different when you were involved in the big?
It was a weird one. Like, I mean, because it's a big old sort of studio film, and I hadn't really done any of that stuff before. I was just chatting to Verne about it, about sort of the kind of overwhelming nature of what that is. But strangely, if I get overwhelmed in that sort of situation, I do that even more. Weirdly, it's like a nervous reaction. So I ended up doing a bit of, I don't know if he's even going to stick in the film, but just before the takes were happening, just doing a bit of ad-libbing before I had my actual lines, you know. But it's more of a nervous thing, you know what I mean? It's like, I just, I don't know, that's what I do, just to stop the nerves from happening.
Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you, thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey You Guys, huh?
Hey You Guys.
Is that from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yes.
Nice.